So, learning another language. You may be asking yourself, why do I need to learn another language? Well, studies have shown that people who know at least two languages are more likely to stave off Alzheimer's for 4.5 to 5 years. And that's a really big deal. Because as someone who lives with somebody who has developed Alzheimer's disease, I have learned how precious each day with your family is. So, without further ado, let's watch an interview with an expert in learning another language, Mr. Corneos. What are some methods and techniques that you would recommend to somebody who's learning a second language?
Hi, Izzy. That's a great question. First of all, thank you for having me in your interview. So immersion is the first thing. I feel like it's the best way to learn a language is to be totally involved with the language and experience it firsthand.
Yeah. And if immersion isn't possible, is there an online course that you would recommend to somebody learning a second language?
So there are a plethora of online courses available. Our local library offers a variety of them in textbook format and just digital formats as well, and they're for free. I've heard of other teachers use several of the popular brands like Duolingo and Rosetta Stone. And especially during these times, those are a perfect alternative.
And is there a certain language that you would recommend to English speakers?
Spanish is a great alternative here in the state of Texas because there are so many people that speak it. So you have the opportunity to use it on a regular basis. I'm also biased because I teach Spanish, so I'm gonna always say Spanish. But any of the Romance languages are gonna be relatively easy. I feel they're going to be easier, so French, Italian, Portuguese, in comparison to some of the languages that don't share the same alphabet.
And have you noticed any impacts on your daily life in learning a second language?
Yes. So I practice French and Greek with my son when we look at signs, so we try and spell things out. We practice colors. So that's the way that I use it the most, like when I'm learning other languages, because I might not have someone to practice those languages with, but they're going to come up and you will find instances where you are going to feel the use or the need to use that other language, and such as working at the store or running into someone who has some sort of problem, and aside from that, traveling. But I feel like the brain is like any other muscle in your body. The more you flex it, the more you practice and use it, the sharper it's going to become, the quicker it's going to become, and the longer you'll have that mental elasticity that you want. So I can totally see the connection between learning another language and having a quicker, brighter, sharper mind.
Have you seen any big challenges when learning a second language, and how would you advise to overcome that?
So the fear of making a mistake or the fear of embarrassing oneself is obviously the biggest hurdle. I would recommend finding a program that fits your needs, your proficiency level, to learn at a consistent rate, and just to build that confidence as well, so you don't want to learn in a classroom with, if you are, let's say if you're a teenager, you probably don't want to learn in a classroom with third graders. You want to learn in a classroom with other teenagers as well. So finding a classroom that has your same ideals, or a teacher or a program, a course, but that also fits you perfectly right where you're at your proficiency level. Excuse me. I feel like that is key. That's definitely going to help with the shyness aspect of it. And committing also to just generally making sure that you use the language as much as you can. So finding a program that is full immersion, where you have to use the foreign language, the target language, as much as you can in every environment.
And finally, is there any additional advice that you would like to give somebody learning a second language?
Absolutely. Take advantage of every learning opportunity that you have, every learning experience, whether it's talking to a friend or the relatives of your friends or neighbors, it's practicing with your classmates, listening to podcasts, reading books and magazines, listening to songs, learning songs on an instrument. Anything that you can to absorb the language as much as possible will definitely give you that exposure that you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for having this interview with us and
Thank
for sharing
you.
your thoughts
Thank
on
you.
this
I appreciate it.